today when you consider where we came from. But then again, we manifested it all. So we thank the Creator for His blessing and also for besties in business. Yo, sit back, relax, and let yourself go with simply Naima and alter ego. These are trying times, so relax your mind. If you need some help, then drop us a line. We create a space where we can have good conversation, family, culture, business, race relations, giving birth to kings and queens. Manifesting wealth and things. 2020 came and tried to give us mad action with no satisfaction, and now we all distracted, but still gotta hold our own. Doing big boss shit, rockin' Nina Simone, a superstar in this compilation. Came to this universe to give you niggas motivation, but you still sleep, you niggas always on a vacation. But he's a creep, and that's the real life translation. You feel me?
I don't think they feel you, yo. We gon' get this bread and feed them till they full, yup. We gon' get this bread and plant the seeds that really grow. We do it to build and not for likes or for show. Expand your network, your connections will grow. Thanking the Creator from where all our blessings flow. We are innovators and creators, multifaceted, talented, beautiful queens. Most of all, confident and conquering dreams. Besties, gang gang. Hello, and welcome again to another episode of the Besties Building Brands podcast. Today we have two amazing entrepreneurs who have some skin in the game, and we're going to be talking about a topic that you see a lot of people post about a lot: family and friends not supporting their business. So it's just an open conversation to talk about why that is, and what we can do to, make sure we're still successful with or without that support. So before we get started, I would like them to just introduce themselves and tell you a little bit about themselves. We could start with Valerie.
Hi, I am Valerie Brown, and I am the founder, CEO, and owner of Roundtable Consulting, and also Vision by Design, which is a graphic and web design agency. I have been a business coach consultant for 14 years, and thank you for putting my website up. You can find me there at roundtable.biz, and I am glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming, LaShawn.
Yes, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is LaShawn R. Shelton. Thank you so much. Business besties and business is all about both. It's interchangeable for having us on this morning and this afternoon. I am LaShawn R. Shelton. I am the founder CEO of LaShawn R. Shelton Inc., where we provide coaching as well as synergy and energy vibration coaching to get people to where they need to be, whether it's finance, whether it's interpersonal, social, we do it all. And I'm just super excited to be here and just talk about the brand and where we branched off with the brand.
Awesome. And then we have our new podcast manager who's joining us on the show today. She's been a big help, helping us get things organized. Rajay, can you just introduce yourself and your business?
Hey, my name is Rajay. I have business. It's Drawn a Blanket, Complicated Styles, which is a clothing brand. I also do custom shirts, custom hats, custom head wraps. I pretty much just do it all. But I'm more excited about my new position as podcast manager.
Well, we are glad to have you. And then you have myself. I didn't change my name, but I'm Alter Ego. And then we have Miss Crystal, the Connector, C Murder. She goes by a lot of different names. But she is the CEO of Go Beautiful. And she'll talk about that a little bit later on in the show. So let's just jump right into it. Family and friends, they're not supporting my business. Why do you think? So before we talk about that, let me just preface that by saying we already understand that family and friends may not be your target audience, and you want to really niche down and so on and so forth. So all of that aside, is there an obligation for family and friends to support your business, share your posts? Anybody can go.
I'll start. I don't think it's an obligation. I think that a lot of times our family, our friends, they're sick of us. They've known us since day one. We're talking about family. My cousins, they knew me when I was like 10 years old, and I was creating ways for your hair to grow with like mustard and baby oil and witch hazel, like things like that. So I'm thinking back with my family, they remember the crazy calamities and shenanigans that I, had when I was younger with business. I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. And I think that it's difficult for them to see you as an expert, right? They can't see you as an expert in a particular business, whether it's finance, coaching, beauty, anything, because they know your extra humble beginnings, and I think that friends, they don't realize that supporting doesn't have to mean purchasing a product or service. It could just simply mean tagging people, putting it on their page. So I think that there's like this invisible line of how do I support? And I don't really want to because it's like their 20th business, but I kind of want to see them successful. And then you have that unfortunate little thin line of family and friends who don't want you to do better. And they don't want to see you blow up because they're used to having you the way that you are.
Valerie?
That's real good. I know I don't think that they're obligated to. And support comes in various forms. So even if you're not tagging me on a post in social media, could you at least support my efforts? Could you at least say, Valerie, I think you're doing a really good job, and I am so blessed to see how you prospering or something. But obligation, no. I think family and friends sometimes need to stay family and friends.
So I'll play the devil's advocate, right?
The devil don't need no advocate.
This is how I feel, right? And I just feel like within our community, it's always like that. I just think that other communities, they just support each other just because. Like, if you have a Chinese store and I am Chinese, then I'm going to go shop at your store. I mean, and I'm not saying it's exclusive to that, but I feel like it's never an issue of, they don't want to see you do well. Maybe they don't think you're the expert. I think we only find that when in our community, the majority of the time. I mean, nothing is exclusive to, one particular race or culture, but I just feel like as my family, as my friend, you should support my business because ultimately it will help us all. Like if you support me, then I'll be able to help you in other ways. We can help our community grow together if you do. So somebody had a post about brooms or something like that. If I sell brooms and you need a broom, you still will go buy it from somewhere else. It's a freaking broom. Like you should buy all your brooms from me. Even if maybe you like red brooms, but I sell blue brooms, buy the blue broom. And then eventually with your support and the support of my, network, I maybe can get red brooms, but just do it just because. Even, buying something that you may not necessarily need for yourself, you can gift it off. And that's a way of supporting because now you've put that in the hands of someone else who may now in turn become a customer. So that's my take on it. And I don't know. I just really think that it should be a level of obligation to do that, even if it's just one time. You came out to the launch party, but you're not a return customer. I'm doing weaves. You don't wear weaves, okay? But you came out and you brought a friend who wears weaves. I just think that it should be, and I think that would get us further along as a community, as a people, if we started thinking that way.
When we talked about having this topic, and we've had this topic a lot in other groups and in other places, and I had an aha moment yesterday because when I think about my family, I was raised by my dad's side of the family, my dad, my grandma. That side of the family supports me. I can sell barbecue cornflakes and they go and buy some or tell somebody, yo, my cousin Crystal, them barbecue cornflakes slap. right? But my mom's side of the family, we're very distant, and it's just that dynamic in that family structure. They do not support me as much, and it's like they're still trying to get to know me. They don't know much about me, even though I'm family. And they come with a different set of expectations with supporting my business, my endeavors. And then I had to really think about in my head about when we're talking about family and friends not supporting your business, what is the relationship besides the business? Like, are they, or were they always friends that were supportive, or were they friends that only came around when, you had the money to support them at the club, when you had the money, when you were buying things? So then those type of friends will come to you when you're giving them whatever product that you're selling, or giving it to them at a discount. Same thing with family. Is this the type of family that they only support when it's beneficial to them, when they can get something at a discount or whatever? And that will also help me understand why family and friends aren't supporting my business. And it goes, this will help other people too when they have their relationship. And are you that family member who only supports family when they're having a sale or a discount, if they are in a product-based business, or if they have a restaurant? Are you that family member that's going there like, let me get a slab of ribs for $1, right? Or are you that friend that's only coming when you're giving away free stuff, and you're taking the free stuff from your friend who has the business? And Khadijah made a very good point that in our culture, I feel like that when we say it only happens with us, because only we know us. Like, we're not living in an Asian communities, we're not living in white communities, so we can't really say what the whites, I'm sorry, not color, but what the clear people are doing, and what the Asian people are doing, or what the Africans are doing, what the Europeans are doing, because we don't live in their culture, and we can only assume because we see them doing things that's what's happening. But I know that yesterday my daughters wanted to go to H Mart. They love H Mart, which is the huge Asian store. I don't see any people of color in that store. I only see Asian people in that store, shopping, eating, working. We like to go to Pha Ha, which is on Adams Avenue, which is a Vietnamese noodle restaurant. Only Asians are eating there, only, and also working there. And when and we can say the same about us, like when we go to our restaurants or our places to eat, you only see us. However, but in our community, we also see those other restaurants and other stores with other people of different nationalities in those, having those stores in our community. But we don't see them shopping at, I don't see any Asian people shopping at the beauty supply store. I see them working there, but I don't see them coming to shop there. Right? I don't see, when I go to Acme and when I go to ShopRite, when I go to the grocery stores that are, indicative to the Americans, I don't see any Asians shopping in that store. I don't see any Africans shopping in those stores. So I feel like when it comes to support, how are you supporting, and the relationship you have with the people that you are supporting? That makes sense?
Do you think that it, because I always like to look deeper into things though. Like, do you like, because I personally feel like we don't necessarily have a culture. Like, we have bits and pieces of things that we took just from being here, and those other nationalities, they actually have culture that they brought with them. So that's why it's easier for them to, okay, we're going to go to the, the African store because they have all the things that I eat. And, I don't eat this here, or I don't do this. Like, do you think it comes from that? So even though not subconsciously, you may be thinking, I'm not supporting her, I'm going to go over here, I'd rather get the broom for Walmart. Is it a deeper thought process that we're not even recognizing that's causing us to not just support just because my friend has this business?
I mean,
I do think it's deeper.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it's deeper. Me and my son's nurse had a conversation. She said, and she's a woman of color. She said that the reason why she does not support Black businesses because the stuff is always cheap. And when she goes to Children's Place or shop, in the Macy's or whatever, the material is better, it lasts longer. And I had to get her to think about, you need to understand that the reason why you feel like the material is cheaper is not only just your mindset, but understand this, that as a business owner, when I'm looking for a product, they're not giving me the same price because I'm a person of color. And because I'm just starting out, I don't have this large amount of funds where I can afford the top dot denim. I can afford this, the lower price. And then as my business grows and gets better, then it'll be, the denim will get better. But you have to support them at that stage. And I feel like that is also what's going on, is that people aren't really thinking about the cost of things.
But Sheen is cheap as heck. You wash something from Sheen, it shrinks and wrinkles forever. And look at how fast they grew. I mean, I think it's just a matter of how our culture, like you said, is piece to piece. And I'm trying to keep my social studies, teacher hat off. But, I have family who are Haitian descent. And when they do, for example, when they do susus, those susus go on forever. I'm talking like my aunt was in a susu that was like 3 years, because they believe in supporting and making sure that everyone eats. We do a susu, 2 rounds get paid, that's it. But not only that, we have to look at how long the dollar stays in our community. If you look in the Asian community, the dollar stays in their community for 30 days, going back to what Crystal talked about. They know, listen, Khadijah has blue brooms. Crystal has fabric softener, right? Raj, she has air freshener. Valerie, she has, sugar. And each component will have what's needed for that family or household to survive. So they will have no problem going to those areas, right? And then if you look at us, our dollar only stays in the community for 6 hours. Six hours. The Jewish community, 20 days. If you go to some parts in Brooklyn where it's strictly Hasidic Jew, like they have everything from hospitals to car dealerships to babysitting.
They have neighborhoods.
In one neighborhood.
Daycare, schools. I'm sorry. That the Jewish community, when I mean a tight-knit community, she is knocking on the door of the example that needs to be spread across all cultures.
Exactly.
I'm so sorry.
You're right. Raj, you're right. Because I'm from New York, right? And I'm from Queens. And there's certain areas, they call them little somethings. So Little Russia, everything is Russian ran, right? Little Guyana, everything's Guyanese. But when you go to Flatbush or Crown Heights, you could get shot in front of the hospital. They will take you to Brookdale, which is 10 miles away. They will not put you in that hospital because that hospital is specifically for that neighborhood. And until we come to a meeting of a mind and have that same mindset as Tulsa, as back before things were segregated, we're never going to come together. Because like you said, if you have a blue broom for $10, some of our mentalities will say, well, I'm going to go online and spend $20 for a blue broom because I think it's better. And it just goes back to Valerie saying, what kind of relationships do you have with your people? And are they truly supporting you? Are they evil eyeing your business? Do they wish they had the tenacity to do what you did?
And I think now in 2020, 2021, things have changed so much because we weren't in those markets. So we couldn't even form a neighborhood. We didn't know where to even get brooms to sell them. You know what we did? We cooked. When you look at most Black businesses, we cooking, we cleaning, and we doing hair. What else?
Babysitting.
Like we have to expand ourselves. So yes, we are in the medical field. I'm sorry, I forgot funeral homes. So we doing all of that, but what are we doing with the natural day-to-day needs that we have? And you can find that more now. There's so many Black-owned businesses, and I have vowed and am vowing to myself to primarily use Black-owned businesses for my everyday needs. And they are out there. And if we have enough people within our community to do that, we could keep that dollar, like LaShawn was saying, we can keep recycling that dollar between ourselves.
It's honestly everything. It's with us not being together is the reason why people aren't going to support me. Like I've had my business for 4 years. I've been doing custom shirts. I've been doing clothing and everything. I started candles. My business is not shooting off as the next person who just started it, who just, so happens to be the popular person. So they're going to go with the popular person because that's who they know. But we don't stick together enough to say, hey, well, yeah, this person has candles, but so does A, B, and C. We don't promote other people's brand because we want to promote Nike. We want to promote Puma. We want to promote all these brand names that are already in the system that don't pay back into our communities, that really don't care about it.
Right,
So,
right. You even have smaller, like just the Chinese stores in the neighborhood that everybody goes to. They never do book bag giveaways. They're never in the community doing
the
any
hair stores.
Never. But we still support them. And right now, there are online beauty supply stores everywhere. People won't buy.
Right. But Raj said something that was really profound. There are some companies. So I represent a company, but they give back to the Black community all the time. They are the largest company that employs and or has the highest six-figure paid African Americans in any business ever. So companies like that, I don't mind being part of because they're like, okay, we understand your plight. We understand that stuff isn't going away, straight your community. So they're doing the book bag giveaways. They're donating millions of dollars back into our community. They're doing, free financial literacy for kids because they want to make sure they understand. They have different initiatives to help the African American community, actually the Black and Brown community, to be able to be a little bit more fiscally responsible. That I don't mind getting behind. But it's when you have those companies, like you said, Khadijah, they're following behind you every step of the way in the store, like you're going to take their $3 hair glue. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all.
Why do you think we're drawn to companies like Nikes, or you see people, they want to get the red bottoms, the shoes aren't comfortable, but you want to get it just for, the status? Why would you get that? Well, not you, but why do you think we are drawn to that opposed to, a smaller brand who will give back? Or why are we, we have skincare brands, but then Rihanna, who's never been known for skincare, now she has skincare. Now everybody's buying her. Like, she doesn't have to show any type of proof that she knows what she's talking about. Hey, I have a skincare, and everybody buys it. Why do you think that is?
Cloud?
Sorry.
Go ahead.
For me, it's a status thing. It's like going back to high school. You have your cliques, and they see this clique is doing this, so they are the ones that have always been doing it. So that's who we're going to follow. It's a sheep type of mentality for me. People are sheep, and they don't want to stand out. They don't want to be different. It's the following the crowd type of thing. And I've come across that because I've worked when I was 25, I was working in a company where there was women who were older than me, and they didn't like that I wasn't conforming to the way that the company's telling you to be. So of course I'm going to stand out. So that goes when it comes to brands, that comes when it comes to shop, everything. That's what it all boils down to. We're following one thing because they're telling us to follow this. We're not stepping out. We're not getting back in our community saying what we have to give to ourselves. Because we're always taught this is what we're supposed to buy. This is where we're supposed to shop. We weren't taught that we are the shops. We weren't taught to give back into our communities. And I'm from Alaska. So I didn't learn about this until I was 18 and grew up and left Alaska, and I moved down to Texas. And that's when I saw just the division among just everybody. So that's where it gets deep for me. It goes back to just people not wanting to be different, people not wanting to give back to their community, and just wanting to be what the TV is telling you to do, or what Facebook's telling you to do, or Instagram. We're not really looking out, back in my mom's time, they looked up to people, actual people, their grandmas, their moms, and everything. These times we're looking up to Rihanna, Beyonce. I could throw out so many other names, Jay-Z. So it's a cycle. It's a cycle that hasn't been broken.
Anybody else?
I thought Valerie was going to say something.
Oh, she summed it up.
If I may add, and I wish I had my book in front of me. I talked about this in Be Your Best You in the chapter of my book, Prerequisites to Adulting. And a lot of times, not a lot of times, almost all the time, we are the only culture who will go broke looking rich. We're the only culture who will literally wear a pair of $600 shoes, a $20,000 bag, drive a $50,000 car, and wear $80 lashes, a $500 weave bundle, and probably the least expensive thing on our body might be a trinket, But then we're going back to the projects, or we're going back to an area where, that same amount of money on that one outfit could have purchased you a home, and it's because we want to look that part so bad, and thinking that looking at parts going to make us look and be viewed as something that we're not. I remember hanging with, girls when I was younger, and their soap would be like the size of a debit card, but they would put on that $500 outfit to try to meet somebody. So I think it's the mentality of, I'm not going to get coaching from Valerie because she may charge $200, because not realizing Valerie's trying to help out. And that's not Valerie's prices. I'm just saying. But then they'll see Les Brown, and I'm, hi Les, I'm cool with him, but he'll charge the same training, if not less. I mean, give less for like 5,000. So now they're doing payment plans to get the same exact thing. When I did the podcast, Get Paid class that you were in, Khadijah, people were like, well, maybe if you raise it to $500 for 3 classes, people would join. And I refused, because I said, there are people out there that need to learn this skill set. And they're not going to be able to afford $500 per session. So they view your product as being cheap in the value opposed to the price. And they'll chase that dollar. Oh, Les Brown and Lisa Nichols must be saying something super, super special because they charge me $5,000. She's going to charge $125 and skip right over a blessing.
I've had a couple of coaches tell me that before, about pricing. And I talked to Crystal. We've been talking about this a lot lately. Like, money doesn't move me. Like, I don't do anything because of the money. So a program that says, learn how to make $10,000 in 17 days, I will never buy, like, ever. But that's just me, because for one, like, I think you're lying. And I've seen quite a few people on Clubhouse. I've heard them say how they, they're making $2 million. It's their second year, $2 million. I have a program to show you how to do it. Well, I went on your Instagram page and I went back 5 years ago, and you were trying to sell that oil 5 years ago. So why are you lying? You know what I mean? Like, that annoys me. But people do. I guess they equate, if this is $5,000, it must be better. But I refuse to do that also. Like, I have to stay true to me. I have to be able to sleep good at night. And I just can't see me doing it. I don't know. I just think that it's deeper than just family just not wanting to support. I think it has a lot to do with what everybody says. Like, they can't see you as the expert. They see little Khadijah who, you was doing hair. Like, I remember when I first started doing hair, like, I literally had to go to people like, listen, I will do your hair for free just to show you that I know what I'm doing. Or I will go to people at my job and say, hey, I'll do your locks for $10. Mind you, I went to school. Like, I have a cosmetology license. I went to a Paul Mitchell school. So, and I did well, graduated top of the class, you know what I mean? Specialized in the color, all of that kind of stuff. And people still were like, no, but you would go to the Dominicans and let them jack your hair up, knowing that your hair is being burnt out. Just crazy. It's just the mentality in our community is just so weird. And I'm just determined to just do my best in any way I can, even if it's a small sector of the community, I will. And that's why I talk about a lot in the group. Like, it could be 6 people in here, honestly. Like, I really don't care. Like, it could be 6 people. I'm not impressed by it being 1,000 or whatever. I really don't care. I just really want us to be able to get on one accord and understand that if we all do it together, right, then right, we'll be further along. But I wanted to talk about just what you were saying about, well, when I asked about the Nike and the bigger brands, like, I even think about relaxers, right? I guess because I'm a hairstylist, like how we wanted to relax our hair because we wanted to look like, other people. And that was, the idea of beauty. I saw, I think it was like an Ebony magazine where it said, like, are Negro women getting prettier? And I think all that stuff just has like lasting effects. So it just affects everything. So just like for insurance, for example, a white male selling insurance could probably close an older Black woman faster than a Black woman would. And you would think that you could relate to her. She's a younger version of you. You see yourself in her. No, they don't trust you. Even though all that
Same product.
all that you've been through, you still look at him and you trust him. Even car salesmen.
I go through it all the time
When
with
I
insurance.
was in
All the time.
Drexel going to school, I promise you, I was an engineering major, black and female, only one, and it was like two other women in the class. Like it's I don't know. So
Yeah.
so with knowing that it's a deeper issue and knowing just the way we are in a community, how have you guys sustained your business? How have you continued to grow? I really I look up to you guys. You're my Facebook aunties. You guys you have integrity. You stay true to your mission. You look the same when you get on camera. So I trust your opinions. How did you guys, weather the storm? How did you make it so long in business?
I think it's what you said, being consistent, staying true to the mission, just really persevering and pursuing my vision. And people like to see consistency. You know what I mean? So if you just kind of being flighty out here and you posting, you baking cakes one day, you doing hair the next week, uh, selling cars the week after, it's like, we don't know what you're doing. You just doing everything. And so now I don't trust you because you ain't sticking with nothing. So I just wait people out. I've had clients come to me and say, Valerie, I watched you for 2 years before I decided to come to you. I want to get my money together, and I don't even charge outrageous rates because I deal with a lot of startup entrepreneurs who just don't have it. But then I also deal with a lot of existing entrepreneurs who ain't making no money because you didn't lay the proper foundation. So I'm here to teach people to get back to the basics. Let's lay the proper foundation so that you don't become frustrated and overwhelmed because you didn't do things right the first time. So that's what it is. It's just being true to me. I'm always me, and no matter what environment that you see me in, and you're going to get the value you get here is the value you're going to get out there.
Yeah. With me, it's a little bit different. I'm like that entrepreneur, like the freshman college student who have no idea what they want to do in life. And when I started out with entrepreneurship, I had so many things I wanted to do, because I saw so many issues in my community and I wanted to tackle the world. I wanted to do everything. And I remember, having a conversation with someone. They said, just find 5 things that you truly like. Dr. Willie Jolly, shout out to you, Willie. And he said, what are the 5 things that stand out the most to you? And I told him, he said, okay, work on it. And, I agree with Valerie, but I also can't help but say, well, what about the celebrities who have vast portfolios who, Rihanna's a singer, like you said, what does she know about makeup? But she's in makeup, she's in modeling, she's in lingerie, she's in singing, and she models. Those are 5 different, polar opposite communities and industries that she's in. The same thing with Jay-Z. He's a agent, a talent scout, music, real estate. Warren Buffett says you have to have 5 to 7 streams of lucrative income to become wealthy, and sometimes those streams won't be in one subject area, one genre of business, if you will. So I think with me, my biggest product that gives that stick to itness and then brings it all together for me is my blog and my podcast and my books. That's what gels everything together because I coach people. I teach them how to elevate their energies so that they can vibrate a higher frequency with their business. A lot of times it's mental blockage that keeps people from being successful. But then I'm in insurance. I help people become financially free with their and debt free, financially independent. Those 2 industries are one and the same, but they're different, and I also teach people how to write books or podcasts. So if someone says, well, you're just doing everything, yes, but no, because I had to grow up in my business to see where are the parts and pieces that our people are missing and how can I fix them in one product. And that product is me. I'm the brand. So long as you keep seeing me doing my lives, long as you keep reading my books And as long as you keep watching my podcast, then everything else ties into it. And then the integrity that I give and the TLC that I give and the information that I teach, that's what makes people say, I kind of like her. I dig what she's doing. And I'm going to stand behind her and support her. And that's how I got a lot of my major clients and companies because of that.
To see, LaShawn, all of your stuff is connected and it makes sense.
Right.
And you show up
If you
different
start
every time.
selling car oil, I'm gonna question you.
Does that car make the pages turn?
So we're gonna take a 20-second break, and then when we get back, we're gonna But before we take the break, I just want to publicly give you a shout out, LaShawn, because like I said before we started, I've been wanting to do a podcast for a long time, but I was always so shy. I hate my voice. I'm an introvert. It's not going to work. And she really pushed me to do it. She has an awesome podcast training course that she could tell you about after our break. And this is episode 25. So I was like, I really have a whole show. I need to be on TV or something. I'm really already doing it, in real life.
Your TED Talk.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, TED Talk is coming. I'm like, I need to be on the Tizu. She really got me out here. So thank you. And I'm so happy to have you both on the show. Like I said, you guys are really, if that's what your goal was, to come across as authentic, is working. Because I don't like a lot of people. I really don't. I pick up on vibes and energies. I don't. And I really I like you guys. And you guys are real. A lot of people are out here faking it. And you guys are real. So let's take a break and then we'll finish up the conversation.
Thank you for tuning in to Betsy's Building Brands podcast. If you're interested in being a guest or having your business advertised on our podcast, please send an email to podcastmanager@bestiesinbiz.com. After the show, don't forget to head over to Facebook and Instagram to subscribe to our page, Besties Building Brands.
All right. So that was our little commercial break. That was our first time doing that. So I'm excited. That was so cute. Okay. So make sure you send that email, podcastmanager@bestiesinbiz.com, if you're interested in being on the show. If you have any comments or just to leave a kind word to just let us know that we're doing good. So I want to talk about jumping from business to business because some people have done that. How can people overcome that though? Okay, I know I was selling platters and I was doing hair and then I was driving and, I was fixing cars, I was changing tires and all that. But now I do this and I'm really passionate about it. How can people build that trust up?
Now, I truly believe go out there and find out what it is that you're good at. Not just what you're passionate at. You can be passionate about a whole lot of things, but what are you good at? So I do believe in, going out there and finding yourself, but do you always have to do it publicly? So
yes, there you go.
That's how you start confusing people. So I could be over here right now taking a cooking class and y'all don't know it and then come out and with something new. And it's okay because now I'm experienced, I'm learned, people really like my stuff or whatever. And you can come, you always got to have proof of concept. But there's no hurt in trying something. I tell young kids all the time, I tell grown folk all the time, just watch how you demonstrate it to the public. Because again, without you being consistent and without you showing some knowledge and some expertise, we're not going to trust you.
Right. I say, if you've exhausted your market, there's millions of groups that are looking for you. Yeah. When I reinvented my brand, a lot of my warm market, they were like, girl, let's watch a little bit longer. Or they're not used to Sean, the coach, Sean, the business owner, Sean in insurance. So what do? I find groups that are like-minded and germane to what I do. And then I start becoming an asset, a value to that group, answering questions, filling voids. Now people can't help but to ask, well, wait a minute. You seem like you know a lot about this. What do you do? Oh, I'm glad that you asked. So now I have a whole new market of people who are going to get behind me. And they're not going to say, oh, well, she's an entrepreneurial mess because she did 85 different things prior to this. They know nothing about that. So now when they're leaving that, you know, that evidence, and they're leaving those testimonials and they're sharing my website, now people are like, wait a minute. Let me find out what she, because nobody wants to support you till you're popular. Nobody wants to support you till someone else is. You're like a man. Nobody wants you until you're with somebody else, right? So it's like, you know, like I say, find your audience. There's 2 billion people on Facebook. 2 billion. That's almost the world's population. Billion, right? Go on Facebook and find a group. I am sure if you put down crocheting, you know, a crochet group, there's someone there. This girl started a wine group, and that group has thousands of people now because she talked about a specific wine. Oh, girl, I know you drank that. And now that's how she promotes her book. Right. So I say, find that audience. If your audience is dried out and mildewed and wilted and just can't get light back into it, find someone else.
That's a good way to put
Okay,
it.
that's a good one.
Okay. All right. And so let's just talk a little bit more about family and friends and support and things like that. When you guys started, did you have the support of your family and friends, or, you know, or did you basically have to go out there and find a whole brand new market?
Val.
Go ahead,
You don't want to put it out there?
My
Well,
dad was the only one who listened to my podcast for like 5 weeks. I shared that in the group.
Mhm.
I had this whole setup, and he would text me and be like, all right, I heard enough for good night. I mean, this for tonight. Thanks a lot, though. It was good. And it would just be me talking to myself, right? And he shared it with a coworker, and the coworker then shared it, and that's how it started. But I could count on my dad to buy a book from me. I could count on my dad to try at least one product, but he has not purchased insurance from me yet. And I think because he's all set.
Mhm.
But if he won't purchase it, he'll blurb it to someone.
Mhm.
And does it spark a fire all the time? Not all the time. But yeah, my aunt, the one who passed away, that woman supported everything I did. I could also sell chocolate covered frosted flakes, and she'd be like, all right, I'm gonna buy them just
Mhm.
because it's Sean, you know. But then I have some family, they're like, you're in something else again. All right, we'll wait and see what happens. And then I've even had family members, dig this. I've had family members when I was telling them about an opportunity, and they're like, oh, I'll think about it. And then I'll see their face on somebody else's team or someone else's something else. I'm like, didn't I? And they're like, oh, yeah, but no problem. But they want to come crying back when things weren't right or didn't work out for them.
Mhm.
So I have some friends, some sorority sisters, some frat brothers, some family members that will support me. And then I have some that just won't. And guess what? That's okay. Because when they ask for a hookup, I ain't got it.
Yeah, well,
I ain't got it. Don't call me now that you're in trouble. I ain't got it.
when I first started my skincare business, I just knew every wrinkled lady in my family was going to knock down my doors to get this glow. You couldn't pay me to believe that they wouldn't have sold me out as soon as I launched.
The wrinkled ladies, though.
Right.
Well, I had other words to use, but we on a podcast, so and they might be listening. So wrinkled is a good word.
maybe that's why they had them, Crystal.
They had them and they seen them. So, I just thought, and I was a little, like I said, I was a little disappointed. Like, yeah, y'all corny as you know what, but okay, not a problem. Maybe y'all need to see proof. So when I started coming, and every time I came, I made sure that I was keying. Hey y'all. I'll be yeah. Well, when
Right?
I started,
Popping.
when I started 3 years ago. So let's see, I'm 48. I was 45. 45, y'all. What's up? Y'all 45.
No wrinkles, right?
No wrinkles, no lines, no dents, no dings, all even, right? Then I got, oh, what are you using? Cousin, hook me up. And then my cousin started inboxing me with all types of pictures. Girl, these I can't even show those before and afters because maybe I should, but no. But yeah. And I think because my family knows that I am very talented, and because I've lived my life. I've experienced a lot. I've been in the army, I fixed tanks, I've sold cars, I cook. I can boil a pot of water with some seasoning salt and make it a 5-course meal. I can make $1 out of 15 cents. I can say they know I do a lot of things, so they come to me for certain things, but they don't. They only come because they know I know it, not that they trust me, because they still have that type of what Rajay was saying as far as the celebrity and stardom, because I'm trying to get that Beyonce hair and that Rihanna boot, the celebrity status and how they market it and how they want to emulate and look like them and be like them, even though they're in the hood. They haven't they still have that type of barrier. But I think that with family and friends, them supporting your business, and even though we say they're not our market and they're not our ideal client, the word of mouth speaks a lot. And I know even some celebrities will talk about how their family didn't start. Even Oprah said it. Her family didn't start believing in her until she started, you know, making millions. And then they came and was started speaking her name in places, and then she didn't need it. So
Tyler Perry. He had like what, 8 people in his shows?
Yeah.
yes, yes. And his mom was his number one support. It's always the moms. Oh,
Yeah. When I first started, I just started. I like wasn't worried about nobody else. And I also used to do wedding and event planning back in the day. And that was from a friend just saying, because I was so good at administrative stuff and organizational stuff. They were like, we think you should plan our wedding. And I ain't never done that before. And I was like, what? And I did it. And I mean, it was fire. So it was like, oh, I kind of like this. And I became very passionate about that. And right after that is when I started my wedding and event planning company. And I had my aunt, she was like renewing her vows. She came to me. So I did have that support, but I just started. I was just out here doing my thing. Of course, my immediate family, my father and my sister, they better. But even if they don't, I'm still come be out here doing my thing. Yes, I do have family and friends who know exactly what I do. And you will not refer me. You will not share. You will not tag. You will not. I'll be like, wow, like, so you just gonna go to them for a logo and not me, or you gonna go to them for? I'm like, okay, cool. I'm thinking that because I'm human.
yeah.
But I can't help you. Don't come to me to pick up the pieces when they fall.
How about that?
And it's
That
like,
part.
I'm gonna refer you on because you could have came here all along.
Mm-hmm. So one last topic, and then I want you guys to shout out your business, shout out yourself, big yourself up. Don't be, modest, because you guys are awesome. So we touched on it a little bit earlier. Just I think somebody mentioned about when they do come to you, they feel like they're owed a discount or they want something for free. So how do we feel about that? Do you give discounts? Do you not? Are you offering something for free? Like, how do you handle that?
The only people I do stuff for no charge is my father and my sister. But my own sister has been willing to pay me. So if she can be willing to pay me,
Hey, sister.
you can. Yeah, that's right. Big ups to my sister Audra. But it's like, no, don't, because I don't treat you like that. I have said to myself, if I'm going to pay whatever you are, whatever else you are, if I'm gonna pay the white person, the Asian person, whoever it is, if I'm gonna pay their real prices, even if I just go to Macy's and pay their real prices, I'm gonna pay yours. I'm gonna honor that. And what people need to understand is the same hookup you asking me for, is the same hookup that somebody else gonna ask you for in your business, and you're gonna get mad about it. So watch the seeds that you sow.
Oof. Yep.
Right.
Do you ask Louis Vuitton and Birkin, can I get a discount? Like, you wait in stock until you see that 20-50% off, and it's usually because it couldn't sell. So I tell people, you get what you pay for. You get what you pay for. Now, would some of my products come with something complimentary? Absolutely. If someone is taking my publishing coaching, I'm going to have a product that I can give to them at no cost. They can have more value. But just arbitrarily say, oh, yeah, I'm going to give you a hope. No, because my time is valuable and you can't get that time back, and you have to understand that if I do this, unless you are willing to be my spokesperson, unless you're willing to be my brand ambassador, unless you're willing to put in at least some sweat equity to equate to what I'm giving you at no cost, then don't ask, because it's not fair to my brand and business, and people don't know how to keep their mouth shut. They're like, oh yeah, girl, she gave me this $2,000 class at no cost. You need to ask her, but tell her like this. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. So I try to have at least one product or service. I may say, okay, taking this will get you a complimentary book that's valued at this, or marketing valued at that. But that's the only way I would offer something that's complimentary.
That was a learning moment for me. I had given my son's nurse some free product, and she went to the school when they were in school, and she told everybody there, of course, and it's word of mouth, tell everybody about my skincare business, and she told everybody there that it was free. So of course my phone was blowing up, and I'm all geek like, oh my God, I'm about to blow up. They wanted free product. It was like, oh, she ain't paid for it. And I'm like, why would you go there and say you didn't pay for it because you my son's nurse, but you about to get fired? Anyway, that was another day. But I know now I do not give free product. I do not give a discount unless I'm having a special sale on my website, gobeautiful.com. But my packaging, I love it. I've gotten rave reviews. My packaging is on point, and I do put free gifts inside of every package, because I know that you're spending your money with me, and I know that taking the key from my Asian cousins, when they give you their little bag, they put a little free sample of hair oil or free sample of conditioner or free little earrings in the bag, and it makes me feel extra bougie that day. So when they open my package and they get their skincare, they know their skin is glowing, and there's some extra skincare freebies that are in the package too, and that helps keep the relationship going, keep it the word of mouth, me in their mouth, like, yes girl, I got this, and look at all this I got. And they do understand that all the free items that they got are free gifts for me. A complimentary and appreciating their purchase is for them. Everyone doesn't get the same. So
well, while you're talking, go ahead and tell them about Go Beautiful. I have the website up, and then we'll just go around and just talk about your business and where can they find you and so on and so forth.
Oh yes, you can find me at www.gobeautiful.com. That's GOBEAUTIFULL, 2 L's, because Go Beautiful is a luxurious vegan anti-aging facial skincare line to keep you glowing, to keep that skin popping, okay? To age backwards. You will be the vampire of skincare, okay? Yes, you will be 80 looking 20, still getting carded. Okay.
Love it. The vampire.
Right.
The vampire.
All right.
Of skincare.
All right. So LaShawn, next, you tell us what
Yes. Hi, everybody. Please go to my website, www.LaShawnShelton.com. There you will find opportunities to receive coaching from me. My coaching products range from everything from, how do I shift my mindset to success, to becoming a podcaster like Khadijah, and how to write a book and such. I'm actually in the process of writing my 4th and 5th book. So grab me now while you can. I also specialize in helping families become financially independent and debt free, because you can't focus on success if you owe everybody, right? So I help people retire comfortably. I help them get free money for their children's education, as well as get out of debt quicker and lower their cost of insurance. And how it all correlates is you can't be successful if you don't have a nest egg to sit on. So go ahead and give me a call. I have a podcast and get paid, as well as Write for a Purpose class starting in the next 2 weeks. So you would like to grab your seat right now, not now, but right now, and go to my website. It's a lot there for you. And Khadijah, thank you again for having me here.
You're welcome. Thanks for joining us. And Valerie?
Please go to my website, browntable.biz. And I am revamping it right now, but it is still available. My bio and my you can schedule a 30-minute consultation with me if you are interested in starting a new business. I want you to start out the right way. I want you to lay the proper foundations, and I want you to succeed. If you are an existing or rising entrepreneur and you want to rebrand, revamp your method and your message, I am also your woman. So please visit me there. I do have a graphic and web design agency that I am resurrecting. So I normally do design for my current clients if they want it. But I'm going to be offering some design packages because I don't do a la carte stuff. Now, if you just want a logo, don't come to me. Or if you just want a website, I'm doing your whole package. And we talk about branding strategy and all of that to get you going out here on the right foot.
Okay.
Rajay?
So,
I get to go again.
I was looking for your website. Is your website up, or do they
Oh.
contact you differently?
Change it. I was going a different direction. So it's complicated.com, ITSKOMPLICATED.com. I also have a new hair care product that's coming out. Got you some bonnets, the new head wraps, new earrings. I am glossing all ready for summer. So head over to my website and definitely check me out.
What's the website again?
It's complicated. IT with a K instead of a C.
Okay. All right. So make sure you send that to me and Messenger. So when we end the show, guys, don't hang up. I just need one more minute after the show is over. So I just want to thank you guys for joining us again. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Besties Building Brands. Crystal is also our business consultant for our group. You can, if you're looking to get just clarification on, just clarity on your business idea, if you need something new, something fresh, because you feel like what you're doing, you don't love it anymore and you need some new ideas, some new eyes on it, you can contact us. We have a lot of things coming down the pike. We have some digital products that we'll be releasing soon. But right now, we just want you guys to focus on group economics. That's the name of the game. I want everybody's business to grow. So find us, join the group, share your business, give some tips so that we can all grow profitable businesses. Everybody talks about, legacy building, but we just want to get you guys who aren't even making $1,000 a month to consistently make $1,000 a month, grow from there. We have so many wonderful people in the group that can help you. We have 2 on the show right now. We have Crystal. We have Rajay with her clothing, and it's just a wealth of knowledge in the group. Don't miss out on the opportunity. It's really one of a kind. There aren't too many other groups like that on Facebook, so find us. We also are still fundraising for our IDEA Intellectual Disability Employment or Education Agency, where we're trying to create a program for those with intellectual disability so that they can get employment training, so that they're not just pushing carts at Walmart, that they can work the registers, that they'll be self-sufficient after their parents are no longer with them. So you can find the fundraiser button for that at bestiesinbiz.com. Or you can share it or just hit me up and we can talk about how, your organization can help. Any resources you can give, anything that you can do to help. We're not getting the support that we thought we would have got. So we're really looking for help with that. It's really near and dear to our hearts. Crystal has a child, a special needs child. The jury's still out on mine. But ultimately, we want to make sure that all these children are taken care of. Okay, so thanks for joining and see you next week.